Hey, good evening. Hi, everybody. Wave to me. Thank you. Hey, who's going to Vegas that's excited? Anyone excited about hitting Vegas? It's been a long time, man, for me in April. I don't remember the last time. It's been a while. Other than switching planes to go to Denver or something. I don't remember. It's been a long time. So I'm looking forward to it. But more than that, we're looking forward to seeing you and spending time with you folks too. And it sounds like the company's got a real special event coming up. So looking forward to it. But let me get right into it. April's got a great training for you tonight. But let me just go through the announcements and then we'll get started. Okay. So let me just go through, and some of this, is the same as last week, but obviously we did this training Monday night last week. So for those that miss Power Hour, because it is Monday, but it's every Monday, including tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. So there's a lot of great stuff going on with the new products, with the double pay, double to triple pay, actually, with as far as commissions when it comes to enrolling. So, there's a lot of good stuff to go over, and Power Hour is just a great time to be reaching out and sharing exciting news. Mark this on your calendars. I know a lot of us are going to be in Las Vegas Thursday through Sunday. Most of the flights home from Vegas to the East Coast are later in the day. So we're going to do our normal Sunday night training on Monday again, the 20th. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We will not be, we'll be in the air, at that time. So we will just do it Monday night and it'll be a full recap of everything that went on in Las Vegas, along with some testimonials from people who were in Las Vegas with us. So it'll be a good night. But the other thing is the following night, Tuesday the 21st, is the live product and opportunity Zoom that we do for our team that we do every month. So it's going to be Tuesday the 21st, a little bit earlier in the month than what we normally do. But we have some travel challenges, some other things going on this month, but whatever's going on as far as promotions and stuff with the company, we'd like to get 9 or 10 days to take advantage of it instead of just 4 or 5 days. So we're going to get right into, get home from Vegas and just get right into it. We're looking forward to seeing everybody there. So there is no more early registration, but any last minute decisions, you know, you can still register it at the gate. You can still attend and get your ticket right there at the event. So there's still tickets to be had at the event. But as I said, April's got a training for you tonight. But if you didn't get these are the invites for our Tuesday night, April 21st, opportunity and product and opportunity overview. So they are in on our Facebook Team Unity. They're in the whatever that other group is, Telegram that we have. They're posted. If for some reason you don't have it or can't find it, you can always text me or April and we'll text it to you. So um, if you're going to post it on social media, use the one that says message me for the Zoom number. Do not post the Zoom number, okay, on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Make them ask you for it and give it to them individually. And that way you have an opportunity to follow up with them and you know who's supposed to be on it. So, don't do it the other way around. We do have the link for the meeting that's got the live link in it. That's also been posted. But again, if you don't have that, then just ask for it and we'll send it to you. So, as I said, Power Hour tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. Now, want to take a second on this. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the Big Blue calendar, but there's the activation tour that corporate is doing. There's dates and locations being added to it almost daily. And the reason I got this one up, because this one is, about an hour from our house. Okay, so May 13th in Champions Gate, Florida. That's near the Disney exits off of I-4, okay, in Central Florida. It's between Orlando and Tampa. May 13th is going to be an opportunity presentation done corporately with a training. There'll be a high-level executive or presidential doing the training and also a corporate member at the meeting. So this is a save the date. But folks, if you're in Florida, I mean, you should participate in this anytime the company is, is coming in and is within a couple hours of where you are. You should plan on joining it and participate, and more importantly, plan on bringing guests. And there's no better way to have guests attend than for you to put them in your own car. Okay, that's the best way to do it. It's how April and I did it for over a decade when we lived up in New York. If we had guests and we were going to a sponsored meeting, um, man, we put them in the car with us. We drove to Atlanta from Long Island early in the business. I think we'd only been in our first company for a month or something, and we put two people in the back seat and drove down, four of us, like 16 hours to get there to the meeting. So, yeah, it was old school, but it worked. And you get a long time to work, do brain surgery on their heads, 16 hours each way. Believe me, it's a lot of time to talk. So anyway, circle this date, but more importantly, go to Big Blue Calendar and see and it's a lot more than the slide that we had up, which actually this slide, okay, there's a lot more dates and locations now on Big Blue than when we put this slide up earlier in the month. Okay, obviously the yellow arrow is the one by us, but another big meeting is going to be in the DC, Bethesda, Maryland area. So think about who you know in Maryland, DC, Northern Virginia. This is going to be a very, very good meeting. Also, the Queens, it's New York meeting. This King of Prussia, this is Philadelphia area. Okay, so in case you're not familiar with that area, it's a suburb of Philadelphia. So going to be some really good meetings, and think of who you know in those areas that you can plug in. Okay, obviously we mentioned the two big announcements early in the month on the first and second. Our new product, our Axio Hydrate. We got ours. I've used it. It tastes great. I used it before pickleball. It's great, nicely priced. So give it a try, especially if you haven't used a product for hydration and electrolytes and stuff. You definitely want to give this one a try. And the Mother's Day promo, okay? This is the most notice that we've ever gotten for a promo for a holiday, whether it be Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, whatever it happens to be. It's the most notice that we've ever gotten for a promo. So take advantage of it. Um, the True Refine, it's a mask, really cool, really good stuff. And obviously you get the hand cream free, and then there's buy two get one free on the mango and orchard hand cream. So great idea for Mom's Day. Okay, and then the other announcement on the second, first, like I said, the first and second, the double sharing bonus, or what I said, double or triple you pay. You get your standard 10% bonus when you enroll a consultant, but you get an extra 10% during this contest period or bonus period from April 1st to June 30th. Okay. And then depending on what else goes on, you could actually triple that. So could be triple the bonus. And then there's a rank advancement bonus. Okay, so US, Canada, Mexico, and Europe are all participating in it. So, besides the double share that I just mentioned, you can pick up anywhere from 100, 150, 200, 250, 500, 600, 750 for rank advancing. And it starts at SC1. So if you have a rank, if your recognized rank, which is you can see in your back office, okay, is under SC1, just by hitting SC1, that's 2,000 points, okay? You can earn $150. Hitting 3,500, you can get a $200 bonus, and hitting 6,000, you could get a $250 bonus. And then obviously MC1, 2, and 3, the bonuses get better. And if you get yourself up to EC1, it's a $1,000 bonus. So a lot of cash stuff going on this month. But the big one, double your bonus for recruiting, for introducing, enrolling consultants. And that's big. And that goes for us already existing, and that goes for the new people that we are bringing in because they are immediately in that too. So, alrighty. So I'm going to stop the share. And April, I am going to give it to you.
All right, thanks. Thanks, everyone. I hope you had a good weekend. Bobby and I are, for the most part, probably very business forward in this business. It's kind of the way we were taught, the way we've always been. But one of the best things, and actually I can see, I hope she doesn't get upset, Jocelyn, I see you're on here, and she's one of Catalina's new people, and loves the product, loves the results of the products and stuff from the little bit I heard, and the way to get people in through products can be a backdoor approach, because there's probably not a better person in this business than somebody that loves the products. And when somebody loves the products, they can be on fire, because a lot of times they're sharing it before they're even in the business. And then they refer somebody. And if you let them know they can earn money, they always say yes. It could be $8. And they're like, yeah, I'm in, I want my $8. So they see how easy the business can be, because really all we're doing is sharing. So I want to talk a little bit about bundling tonight, and something that I do and probably haven't, in talking to some people over the last couple of weeks, something we probably don't talk enough about. So I'm going to bring up my slides. Okay. 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 So the way that you can increase your volume is by putting two products together or three products together. And it's more than just adding products together. What it does is it actually increases the overall package of products together, and that increases our points, and yeah, we earn more money. So we always want to be doing that, because that's what we're in business for. But some of the things that we don't think about is it builds customer loyalty. People that are using the product and getting re-educated on the product and loving the product become really loyal. You'll notice that most of your customers and consultants, after you get them past the 3-4 month mark, a lot of them stay. They become steady as long as you maintain some kind of relationship with them. But, it also improves convenience for them to be able to order from one place instead of having to order. And a lot of our products, if you look at them, are things that people are ordering and could be ordering from other places, but if they like you, they're going to stay with you. So we want to do a few things here. But one of the biggest things that we need to do, because we have so many products, and because a lot of times we will get stuck on just the collagen or just the GLP or just Protandim, and kind of forget about increasing their value with the product while also increasing the amount of points that we get paid on. So these are some sites. And I think if you start thinking about it now, every site out there does this. They do it. And the term that you may know, and I don't really like the term, it's called upselling. But if you go to Amazon, I mean, Amazon will follow you throughout the day too, but you'll see even while you're on there, and even after you check off, it's not too late to add something to that order that you're getting maybe later in the day or tomorrow. Southwest does the same thing. You book your airplane, but before you know it, they're pitching hotel, they're pitching car rental, they're pitching other things as well. And almost all websites do this these days. It's just considered business to say, hey, we've got other things you may want to put with that go with that. So whatever they see you're ordering, booking.com does a great job of that. There's a lot of really great sites out there that are known for this. And again, they're just trying to get more of your business, which is really what we're all about because we're in business. So some great ways to get bundles going is, right now, Bobby mentioned we have that limited time offer of the Mother's Day gifts, the hand cream, and then the glow up mask. It's funny, we're in our like I don't know, half of our last jar or whatever, but so the timing was good on that. But again, how many people have you spoke to about the glow up mask? Do you even know about it personally? It's a charcoal mask. It's great for your pores and stuff, but something that could be a great gift for somebody as well. So women typically love this stuff like hair cream, bubble bath, things that smell good. So there's a right way to be able to gift people with this. But the way that you tell somebody is this is for a limited time offer. This isn't going to be around. So, that auto ship you've got going out this month with the collagen and maybe True Renew, you're really going to want this glow up mask because it's going to make your skin look super good. So these are ways to drop things in there to help them realize that, look, True Renew is helping, with so much right now, but what about adding something that is pulling the impurities out of those pores or something. So, these are ways to think about different things when we're talking about getting people to use more product. Our big thing is activation, but people don't really understand what activation is. But we do have that exclusivity. So we need to let people know and remind people that we are not just a multivitamin. We are activation and explaining that. So important there. And then savings. A lot of times, if you look, we had a lady that just earlier, one of the consultants had wanted collagen, the NRF1 and NRF2. And so, looking at two packages, is it cheaper to buy the duo and the collagen or go with the collagen and NRF2 package and then add so look at savings and see how you can always help people save money. But then let them know by doing it this way, you save money. Anytime I love to save money. So anytime I hear that there may be a better way to get something, get it cheaper, that always gets, and, I guess maybe us women are kind of guilty of the fact that, all right, it's, buy one, get the next one, 50% off. So yeah, we did spend a little bit more money, but we look at it as we've saved a little bit more money and gotten that much more. So savings is important to be able to mention to people. Now, I put some combinations of packages together, particularly some of the newer products and what we can use these for. This looks like this should be a sports package. But you know what? There's a large, and keep this in mind, we have a lot more people over the age of 60 than we do have like under 20, under 25. So the market and our population, and all you have to do is look around. And sometimes I wonder if it's just because we're in Florida, but anywhere we go, if you look around, we very much have an aging population, particularly here in the US. So some of the things that people, as they get older, need to struggle with are one, they're always looking for energy. So we've got a great product for that. So you can use the Axio X, you can use just Axio if you want. But it's interesting, Hydrate, when we originally got this product, everybody thought sports, like Bobby said, pickleball. Here, particularly as we move into the summer, so important to put those electrolytes back into your system. But that is equally, if not more important for people as they get older. So if you're talking to somebody that is older and needs to get hydrated, then you say, hey, I've got something for you to be able to add for energy. And so you add the two of those together, you've almost doubled the points that you have for this package. But again, we need to remember what products we have and what kind of combinations and ways that we can help people. Hot topics like on social, we tend to want to cure the world. Who's got cancer or arthritis or, but, if you look at what people are really struggling with when you look on social, and it's always easier if you don't mention a disease, like if you mention just joint pain or lack of energy, menopause, weight loss, those are big things that people, brain fog, those are things people are struggling with. But we need to be equally aware of those because a lot of times we get hyper focused in this company in particular on wanting to solve real diseases, real illness there. So, this is one for aging and energy. Okay. This is skin. We're going into the summer, you know, and so maybe I know here in Florida, Bobby and I both went to the dermatologist and, we went running because, it's, we have so many friends that have had to have things taken off and ears missing, and it's just become like epidemic. And so I'm like, we really need to just go and double check this again. But, when this conversation comes up, we can mention our skincare, or I mean our sunscreen, but we really need to mention the Protandim. And what's cool in this scenario is, and if you look at any good sunscreen that women are using on their face or whatever, it really is coming in around $80 to $100 anyway, easily, if it's anything of quality. So we're right in the ballpark, but we're doing that much more. But then I went to Google, and a lot of times when I'm on the phone and I'm talking to people, and they're bringing up different things, I love to just do a little snapshot of what Google said. And this is right off the top of Google. You use ChatGPT. I don't care what you're using, but somehow when something's in print, it's not something I said, something I shared. Remember, we do so much better with a tool, not our own voice. So I don't say a whole lot, but I'm like, oh, hey, look, this is what it's, and this was all I did is I took a snapshot, because I know, we've got some stuff studies, whether it be the old skincare line or Protandim or whatever, that all shows how, our products are helping with skin cancer. So we've got the stick to be able to use on your face or wherever. We've got the Protandim. So this is a combination, again, I might talk about, but I really think, our sunscreen is just fallen behind. People have totally forgotten about it. So, this can be a great package when you're out and around talking to people. What about menopause, premenopause, perimenopause? It's super big all over the place. And again, because we have this aging population, but one of the things that people talk about a lot, or women, I should say, is sleep. They don't get quality sleep. They're waking up at 3:30 in the morning, and you can see they have all these hot flashes and, all this stuff going on. Well, I do know for sleep, and that's why I pulled this out. The Reset PM is a great product, but put it with the Protandim for the oxidative stress reduction. Anytime you put two of our products together, we're going to get that much better results. So again, all I did was, put in perimenopause or premenopause and oxidative stress, and all this popped up. And there's probably like a gazillion different studies out there, but these combinations again are what are going to help people get results. And we're not just focused on just GLP-1. We're not focused on just the collagen, because that may apply to some people, but what about if they're already on our GLP-1 and they're not on these two products, and now they're starting to lose weight, but because they're still not getting a good night's sleep, they're they may be eating a little bit more for the extra energy, so that the weight's not coming off as fast. So we always have to think about all these different things on ways that we can help people. And it's not just two products. It could be three products, four products. Bobby and I have many customers over the years. Their monthly auto ship is $300, $400, $500, just because they've become a fan of so many of the different products. But it came through educating these people about the products as well, which is important. Weight loss, Bobby and I favor this combination and have seen really great results. We happen to have a lot of, and you don't see this side of our business, but we have doctors that move a lot of fat burn. And yes, our big competition is the shots, the drugs. But there's still a lot of people out there that don't choose to want to take drugs. They don't want to do the drugs. And I know it's now even becoming fashionable to do the micro dosing and all. But we've used the fat burn, and now for those doctors, one of them is even a big weight loss clinic with 8 different offices. We are adding the Phyto B to it for the carb blocker, the sugar blocker in the beginning, because we know sugar and carbs are like in all our foods. They're even hidden in many cases. So this is a combination that you may have heard us talk, but that's why we did it, because we get great results with the fat burn, and telling them to add the Phyto B to it to make a great combination, an alternative to maybe the GLP-1, maybe in addition to the GLP-1, especially now that they reduced the price, so much. That's been great too. And even watch your business packages, the GLP-1 business package now is only $207. So we've reduced the entry price for people to even be able to get in business. So a lot of good stuff going on with the company. This is our collagen. I know you know about collagen, you know, but we always get better results. And I'll tell you the backstory on this. We always get better results when it's added with the Protandim. If you're fairly new, you might not know that the many of us, all of us, we'd be foolish not to be on Protandim NRF2. And I tell people, if you're only going to be on one product, you have to be on the Protandim NRF2 because of all the testimonies, all the science, all the great stuff we've seen from it. But a lot of times people are focused on collagen and they want the results of the collagen. But I'll always say you really need to add the Protandim NRF2 for this reason. When the company came out with collagen, many of us, if not all of us, particularly consultants, were on Protandim NRF2. And we always take a picture before and we take a picture 30 days. And the company was seeing the results that were being gotten, just over 30 days, 60 days with the collagen. Now they knew they had a great product, but they were blown away with the results that we were all getting. So they went back and did another study, and the combination of those two expresses so many more positive genes by just using the two of them together. So if we've not shared, and Bobby and I would be remiss, but I want to make sure we have the collagen book in a PDF form. So if you are dealing with people in different areas, let's say, a lot of times I deal with people, they're not necessarily my backyard, met them online, they live all over the country, if not out of the country. It is very easy for me to be able to share the PDF so that they can look through, and for them, they can see the studies, they can see the before and afters, they can see the results people are getting by adding the two of those together. And again, added together, it is much cheaper than when you buy it separately. So, I might say, instead of 157 and 60, it's only 197 when you put the two of them together. So, you're saving quite a bit of money there. So that's what we want to do when we add things together, to let people see the value. Now, this has really been, we just don't talk enough about our Tri-Synergizer package. And so there's a link that I found last week, actually a company video that actually kind of goes through Protandim NRF2, NRF1. It's only 2 minutes long, but it's the best thing I've seen. And it doesn't talk about a lot of science, but it talks about the 3 pathways of aging. So anybody that's super interested in how they're aging. And what's really cool is if you listen to any podcast or you're reading any health books out there these days, they're talking about these different pathways. In fact, NAD, you'll see that all over social media, but just the way that this video goes through. So this is something you might want to talk to them, but after they see it, look, if you go ahead and order all 3 of them together, you're able to save a lot of money. But if that's too expensive and you just want to add the NRF1 and NRF2 together, it's only 103. So you let them know, this is good, this is better, this is the best. This is what you saw in that video. And that's how you get people on the Tri-Synergizer package, by showing them the value. Now, if you've got customers that are just using the Do, I share this video with them. If you've got customers that have just been using the Protandim, maybe Protandim and collagen, I'd share the video with them. All of this stuff in a quick text message will help your people just reinforce the knowledge that maybe you originally, shared with them. It could be 6 months ago, a year ago, depending on how long you're in business, 2 years ago. Protandim, it could have been 16 years ago that you shared Protandim with somebody. What kind of continuing education? Because I can tell you, when you get to the end of the bottle of a nutritional product, so often we'll be like, I wonder if this is really working, if it's doing anything. I see it on my credit card statement, the auto ship, it's coming in again. Sometimes it's easier to cancel and not realize what you have your hands on until at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. If they did have something going on, they come screaming back. But why let that happen? If you continue to educate them, if you see an article on what particularly pertains to maybe some kind of disease they have, or aches, or whatever's going on with them, just longevity. There's a longevity study out there, just keep sharing stuff with them, hinting to what this product is and how it's different than just a traditional, multivitamin that somebody might be taking. So we have so many tools, but sometimes we have to dig. And I know I've said this before, but spend your time on YouTube, spend some time in ChatGPT, spend some time on Google. Think about the person that you are starting to talk to and how you can best make them aware of what we have and how special what we have and how it's not the same. I always think it's a crime. We get so many people that I'm talking to a girl on Facebook just now, and we've been going back and forth. And she originally reached out probably 2 years ago, saw something. But her first question is, how much is this going to cost me? Instead of asking, how much can I earn and what this could do for me? So sometimes the thinking they have out there is just all wrong. And we have to try to change that in the way that we ask them, well, that's great. I can tell you that, but how much do you want to earn? And how much time do you think you can work this business? And what kind of benefits are you looking for? If you flip this conversation, you'll have a much easier time getting people in the business. It all comes down to listening and figuring out what they need. Again, aging, Protanum, there's the study on extending life, hydrating, so important. There are many elderly that literally go into the hospital because they're dehydrated. So we have something that can really help them, that is really good for them. And really, they'll just love the results, and the taste is just phenomenal. Okay, so the takeaway here is a couple of things. Focus on the second sale. I track from the minute that we place an order, I track when they should get their product. I go into the app, I click on their name, I click on the order. And if you click on tracking, it'll tell you where it is. Usually it'll tell you when they can expect to it. A lot of times at that point, I'll even take a screenshot and I'll send them a message. So excited for you. Your product's on its way. It's expected to be here on Wednesday. So now they know it's coming on Wednesday, because maybe they ordered it on Friday and that was already a lifetime ago. Let's say I do this tomorrow. So that's some of the things. And then the day they get their product, did you get your product? I want to make sure you got your product. Okay. And then we'll talk about how they should take it. A lot of times, if they're taking like the Tri-Synergizer and they didn't order the packets or whatever, I'll have them write on top of the bottle. NRF2 is 1 pill a day. NRF1 is 2 pills a day. Just to make it super clear for people what to do. The GLP, wait half an hour. And I don't know how many times I would say that in a conversation. Make sure you wait 30 minutes before you eat anything. Take it first thing in the morning, put it in your bathroom. All this stuff, but we really need to, just assume they know nothing, treat them like they know everything, but assume like they know, because this is all new to them. And for us, in a lot of cases, we know it like the back of our hand, but we have to be really careful with new people to make them feel comfortable with it. People don't like to feel awkward or dumb, and there's a lot of people out there don't like to ask questions. So that's why you've got to kind of assume some of this stuff. And then this is where the bundlings comes in. Maybe their first order was they ordered, just Protanum NRF2. So when I do my follow-up, depending on what's going on with them, I will continually suggest, that's great. I love the results you're getting. But, if you want even better results, I think we should add this to it. And if you bundle those together, it's only this much more money. Or you're saving this much more money. So important there to be letting people know about all the different products. Go into the back office and under shop, and you'll see that every product we have, make sure you know what the products are, but make sure every product you look at, there's videos there, there's studies there, there's an FAQ that tells you all the ins and outs about the product. So some of this stuff you may be using, but maybe you're not thinking the way a new customer might think. So that's why this knowledge can be important. And like I said, you can't spend enough time with your customers on customer knowledge. The more excited your customer is about the results that they're getting, the more probability they will share it with somebody else. Quite by accident, somebody will ask them, your face looks great, or you look like you're losing weight, or your knees don't seem to be bothering you, and they'll kind of just share what they have. And then that person wants it. And you have a real good potential for a new consultant who is, excited about the products. And there's not a better consultant than somebody who is super excited about the products, because people want these results as we have an aging population. So I hope that makes sense to you. Just another way that we can go about sharing, different products and stuff and not just get stuck on the same ones. And like I said, Bobby and I are for the most part business forward, but there's not a person that we don't start on a package, because if you think about our packages, it doesn't matter if they do, as far as income, their earnings 999, or so either you're going to talk business all the way up, or you're going to build that package by picking a business package, and then adding on collagen, GLP, the tri-synergize. You can add any of these products on. They don't have to just do those packages. So a lot of times they're kind of hem and hawing between different things. I'll say, well, let's go with this business package. But I know we talked about this, so we can just add that on too. And as a consultant, you're already saving. So it's a savings for you. So again, I'm adding that savings in there, but I'm building a bigger business package. So I hope that helps you. So, Bobby?
Hey, great information. Anyone have any questions? Any comments? I know we mentioned Las Vegas and we're all excited about it. And
Yeah.
wave at us if you're going, if you have your camera on. Okay, cool. So we started a text thread for those of you that are not on our team. If you let us know you're going, we'll create another text thread and add you to it so everybody's aware of what's going on, while we're out there. We did that for our team, but we don't have phone numbers for a lot of people that are joining us on Sunday night, but not technically attached to us in the genealogy. So, but anyway, remember, we'll be in Vegas. Next Sunday has been moved to Monday. And Tuesday is our live opportunity presentation. Okay, so we'll talk about that on Monday, but it's time to, really have your list together and who you're inviting and all of that. And obviously, when we do our training on Monday night, we'll do a full recap of Vegas for those that weren't able to join us there and play and have fun in Sin City. I kind of like that name, Sin City. So, anyway. I don't know how much sinning we'll get to do. This is a business trip, but we will have some fun. So, but anyway, have a great evening, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you in Vegas. If not, we'll see you Monday night on Zoom. Have a great day. Bye.